Hello, guys. Good day. Now, this is a continuation of the series, commenting on the election, what's been happening, kind of like logging up my thoughts and trying to see if I can actually be of help or assistance to anybody, and to people to just like sell hope to people in the midst of all these things because there's one thing that we should understand that no matter what happens, God is always in control. That's just the truth. And there's pattern, there's meaning to everything that is happening. Nothing is happening at random. There's nobody that has that much power in this world, in any society. God is always in control. You understand? And His purpose will always come to pass. And even in Nigeria, I've been hearing a lot of news. I've decided to just like stay clear a little bit and everything. But I've been hearing news. People have been bringing things to me, talking about what's been happening and this and that and everything. A lot of things have been coming on in my mind. I've just like putting it in because also I've also been around and not been settled. Do you get it? Well, I just like okay, let me say something. Just one or two things and everything. That has been recurring in my mind and everything. Probably that will give hope and perspective to all these things that have been happening. You understand? And then we'll be encouraged. You get it that we are not hopeless. For starters, one of the things that keep coming to my mind anytime people talk, I just say these guys they don't understand what's actually going on. The powers that are at play in this election in Nigeria is much bigger than many of us will understand. Do you get it? It's much bigger. You know, the interests that are at stake right now. You get it? It's more than I want to be president. I want to be. You get it? It's more than Peter Obi. It's more than Tinubu or anybody. It's more than. It's bigger. The way I put it, I said, look, the work that God has been doing in this world in the past 400 to 500 years, you understand, is in danger of being jeopardized if Nigeria does not get it right in the next 5 to 10 years. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So this election has to be okay. You get it? And Peter, somebody, the the nation has to be stable. You can, this regular the way we've been doing it. Government is bad. It can no longer hold again in this country. Whosoever wants to enter, that's your business. I've already in my previous video. I've already told people, look, the way the presidency of this country is going to be is going to be. It's not going to be. It's not something to be envied by anybody. The country is not the same. It's not what Buhari inherited. The Nigeria has changed. Do you understand? So if you want to enter into that place, you must know exactly what you are looking for. You get know exactly what you are doing. I said that look, okay, if anybody look, if I won't advise anybody to do mago to enter into this stuff, I won't advise anybody because what you see there, you won't like it. So the only person who has some form of goodwill that will pacify the country, you understand, long enough for the necessary things to be put in place, is only Peter Obi right now. It changes. I'm not saying he is the Almighty. I'm saying at this point, at this time, right now, he is the only person who has enough goodwill in this country to keep people in check for the next 4 years, so that we, the people, can actually effect the necessary changes that will make this country good and at a very fast rate. Do you get it? Any other person, you are going to have to, if you put your head, what you see is what you get. And I said it, and then the whole election, declaring this contrary evidence, different things that happen. I kept saying the same thing. You understand? Look, America, the world has been primarily shaped by two civilizations: Western civilization, Western European civilization, and the American civilization. You know, the politics that we understand today has been shaped primarily by what happened in Europe, Western Europe. In the years, in the decades that followed the dark age, the Middle Age, the Industrial Revolution, and then the economic system that we are enjoying in the world today has been primarily shaped by the happenings in America. Do you understand? And they are certain, and the currently right now, the same conflict that happened in Europe, at the end of their reign, at the end of their influence, is about to happen in the developed world right now. You understand? Where there's going to be a conflict between one side of the globe and the other side of the globe. And we're already seeing small salvos being shot here and there. You understand? And it's going to be very, very. It's the ramifications of those things will not be something. It's going to be catastrophic. It's going to be very great. The ramifications of the happenings, that we follow will be significant. Just to say it's in the most modest way I can say, and it is important that we get our acts right. Do you understand? That is all I can say for now. You get it? If we don't get our acts right, what is going to befall us right from this generation is going to be something. It's not going to be you. If I take 20 minutes to try to describe it, it is going to be impossible for me to be able to properly articulate what's going to happen, what's going to befall us in this world, in this our generation, starting from this generation. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it is in the interest of God to protect His work that He has been doing in humanity, to ensure that stuff and everything. And the years that follows, you get it. It is either we go through it peacefully or we go through it in a not so peaceful manner. You understand? And that is all I can say. Let me, you understand? And the long and short of everything is that Nigeria is going to be okay. But the pathway the only thing I'm sure of is that Nigeria is going to be okay within this decade. Nigeria is going to be okay, but the pathway, we have to decide and determine what pathway we are going to get to that place. Let me put it this way. It might look like, what can I do, what can we do, and everything. The truth of the matter, I say we. Let me explain what I mean by we. Now, for every social system, you get it. There are different levels that we can actually categorize things. We have the government, we have the states, and then we have the society. That is a way to categorize a social system. It has different levels. The government is the one that has political power to administer the states. The state is actually where economic activities happen to distribute resources. The society is actually the people, where the people reside. You understand? Now, the people who reside in government and everything, you understand, they must be checked by the state, and then the states by the society. Now, within the context of Nigeria, it's obvious that our government has become like I said before, become like a cancer. You understand? Constantly taking away from society, and not giving back. Do you get it? Some people now see that as a job, and stuff like that. The government has failed. Like the government class has failed. There are some people that have been operating in the government. There's the ruling class, whether we like it or not. Now there are some people that operate at the level of the states. Do you get it? The ruling class are the governors, anybody that is in politics and that enjoy benefits from is in the ruling class. Now there are some people that are in the states. That is where most of us, me and many of us, who have some form of economic power, who own factors of production. You have a business, you are a well-to-do employee, and on like that. People who actually who have economic power. Those are the people that make up the state apparatus, the state structure. Do you understand? And then we have people who reside at the level of society. You understand? Now, this is actually a way, I'm using this to try to explain something to make it easier for us to understand what I'm trying to say. You get it? It's a way to categorize everything. And people who are living in the society are the regular people. You get it? The low income earners, the regular guys and everything in the street, the unemployed and this and that and everything. You get. Now, the onus rests on the ruling class to make society as peaceful, you understand, as possible, as peaceful and as prosperous as possible, so that they can continue to enjoy the benefits, the privileges that they enjoy. You understand? And at the same time, it is the responsibility of people who are at the level of states. You understand? This organized system, you get it, for them to ensure that things are as prosperous as they can manage. You get it? So as to keep the people who are at the low class, you get it, who make up the regular society, you understand, and everything, to pacify them so that they can continue to maintain this current social structure. Do you get it? Because this current social structure, there are certain people who have certain things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There are certain people who have privileges, there are certain people who live in certain areas and they are respected. For example, now you are living in VGC, you are living in Lekki, you are living in Victoria Land and stuff like that. Some people work for you. They come into your house, they see how beautiful your house is. After they finish working for you, they leave you, they respect your property rights, that this is your house, and they go to their slums, and then they go and live there. There is a minimum level that they expect from you for them to maintain that social contract. There is no law in nature that says that what you have is yours, and that is the fact. You get it? The reason why what is yours is because there is a social system, you get it, that protects your property right and says that what you have is yours. If anybody tries to do that, you have the ability to call on the state to bring its resources like the law enforcement agencies to enforce your property right. And if anybody does that, you can take the person to the courts and on like that. So that is what maintains the social system. There is no law. If the people, like what happened after NSAS, if the people are that ground and then they realize that, look, Otoga, I don't want again, that is the end of your property right. They can come into your house, take your TV, and you cannot do anything if you cannot do anything to them physically. If you cannot pick up your phone and call the police, you understand? And then the police will respond and come. And you don't have the physical strength to withstand them and everything. They will come and take your stuff. They won't steal it. I'm not saying steal. They will come into your house, open the door, take your TV, ask you for the key of your car. They will take your car, put your TV inside your car, drive it and go out. If you cannot stop them physically as per fight, there's nothing you can stop. There's no heaven is not going to come down. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So for us to enjoy the things that we have certain responsibilities. You get it? Now, I'm not saying this at an individual level. I'm saying it as a general at the macro level. For us to understand what is at play right now. That is not a joke. Do you understand trends? Now we are at the precipice where so much has been taken away from the people in the society. You get it? Based on that scenario I created, people in the society, so much has been taken away from them. There's so much pent-up anger. I was discussing with somebody, I said, look, anger does not dissipate like that. Anger has to have an avenue through which it is channeled. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It does not disappear like that. Have you seen the things that we've endured in the past 8 years? If it was previous times and everything, would have rioted and rioted and rioted. You get it? And then NSAS came. They did what they did in NSAS. There was a little riot. You understand? And then people kept quiet. They came outside and said nothing happened, nothing happened, nothing happened. The heaven did not fall down, and then the people kept quiet. And then towards the end of the election, this and that and this and that and this and that, people kept quiet. Fuel, people kept quiet. Money, people kept quiet. And then the election now happened. You get it? And then it's obvious that people voted for Labour Party, Peter Obi. It was obvious. Everybody knows, even the winners, everybody knows. The whole world knows. But you decided to give it to whosoever you wanted to do, and people are still keeping quiet. If somebody steals from you, so if you steal from somebody, you pick somebody's pocket, and the person looks at you, shakes you, and walks away, you should go and call him and give him what you've told him, because he has taken something that is more from you than you have taken from him. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you see all these things happening and then people are keeping quiet and everything, that anger is not dissipated. You understand and everything. And you know, when you live in a house that is, when a room is saturated with gas, you just need a spark. Anything can spark and then it can burn the whole house. And the fact that the temperature of your house is room temperature does not mean that in the next 2 seconds that you are not going to be engulfed in fire. You understand? Wisdom is profitable to direct. So the long and short of everything I'm saying is this. The people in the society, for those of us that are propertied, that have some form of privilege, no matter how this is, I'm not getting money, I'm struggling, I still struggle. Nobody cares. You understand? You come outside in the morning, you wear your suits, you wear your fine clothes, you enter into your car. They are seeing you as these people, and us. You understand? You are part of the state. The state of Nigeria is benefiting you. Do you understand? And that is how they see you. Do you get it? You have a responsibility to ensure that these people are protected.